at any point in my life, and I do not have a record or any cautions.
Everything he said is wrong or irrelevant. There is no investigation because it probably can't lead to a criminal conviction. Alex wouldn't be cautioned from the police because it's a disclosure, only available to future partners upon request. Alice shows that she was in
How do you prove you're a future partner?
contact with Kent police. She shows her victim care card, quoting Alex threatening to break her neck. Now, I tried to apply as Alex's gay lover to see if the police would disclose any information.
The only problem is this, like the Alex thing is just dead. It's just been done to death. Not so much because like there's obviously, I'm not criticizing anybody here. There's plenty of new stuff to do here. To me, he's already been a liar and a hypocrite. And like, so what if he verbally abused? I don't care. You know what? I don't care if he physically abused. What the fuck? I don't care. What am I, a cop? Call the police. What do I care? I'm so sick of pretending to give a shit about people's fucking problems. At least in that kind of way. Like, girl, you need to get yourself to a therapist. He could kill you. Like, everybody's got to act like they're, I don't even know the word for it. Everybody has to act like they're a guidance counselor, not me. Beat the shit out of her. There's my fucking, who cares? It's your problem. And when you get caught, go to jail. How about that? Her up. Give her a right hook next time. Hit her with that brick. I don't give a you know what? You know what? I'm gonna rename Shaw from the point, not J Stock. I don't care. Kick her ass. Maybe I am a bad person. I think I can live with that.
After almost a full year, IMALLEXX has finally responded to the allegations of physical abuse, threats.
You always take this fucking weird route. Just do the normal route, which is just do the normal route, but a normal girlfriend.
You're acting like this is all just me, and that's something you really need to fucking fix.
I'm gonna fucking bash your head against the wall.
I love it. I'm not gonna. No, I'm tired. I did too much goddamn pro clutching yesterday. Now I said it. That's right. He said it. Why is that not my donation sound effect?
With a brick, if you don't shut up.
And worst of all, saying slurs.
No. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to act like J Stock and like this is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. That Mr. White Knight over there. Jesus Christ. Maybe he can come save you from me, Jeannie.
Oh,
he's in England, right? He can save you. He can save you from the mean old man. Bro, you get the bricks.
Are you talking about J Stock or I'm Alex?
J Stock. J Stock will save you from me. I'm sexually abusing you on a daily basis. There you go. No. With your limp left. Actually, I'm not. It's that Finnish guy talking about your limp.
Yeah, Kite.
Yeah. Terrible.
Here, I'll make a video out against Kite.
Yeah. Oh God, let's make an exposed video on Kite. You want to do that?
Yes.
Like stuff like this.
Tommy, it's Vivian here. My dad is bonkers, I tried to flirt with Hassan, but he doesn't trainees. But do you know what is really whack? Jeannie's left limp titty.
We could use this in the video too, you know.
Hi, Tommy, it's Elon. So Jeannie's limp titty is quite something. We might hire her to use as a parachute for the rockets or something.
Oh man! By the way, I'm doing this with a
oh my God.
with a I think I got a fever coming on.
No.
I got a fever coming on. Yeah, it's all right.
Lynn said, wait, if
J-Sock,
one is limp,
please.
does that mean you roll to one side?
Save her from this sexual harassment, you white knight prick. How much you want to, you ever notice guys like that? They just, no girls are ever around them. You ever notice that? The ones that are so concerned about women, they usually end up fucking raping them. Like fucking, what's his name? What was that guy? Russian Deadpool. Big feminist. Shot his girlfriend in the back 3 times. Yeah. All those guys are creeps to me.
Yeah, after threatening to domestically abuse your partner, it doesn't seem like...
I am a left wing. I love women. I'm looking out for women. Listen, you fucking bitch! Don't fucking embarrass me in public like that, you fucking... All those guys are like that.
Like the most important thing to address this video.
Yeah, I know. Ladies, if you got a guy coming up to you with all that left-wing horse shit and act like he cares, fucking run. Run. You are much safer around the guy who makes the misogynistic jokes any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Video is hilarious. The entire video is essentially him saying no you and blaming her for everything he was accused of.
Alice has done all of this despite claiming she was never physically abusive at any point in our relationship.
Here's another one. I don't care if she whips your ass. I think that's funny too. Hey, put a one in the chat if you like it when a chick fucking pow. I like that shit. Yeah, it's abuse and it's really concerning. The police should get a call, and sometimes men are afraid to come out about their abuse, but it's always funny. How about that? It's always funny. You know what else is funny? When the guy has enough of it.
Which is a lie, as Alice was physically abusing me regularly, which she has hidden and now lied about publicly.
Except he has a fraction of the text messages. He ignores audio, video, text messages where he admits to kicking her. I insulted you. I shouldn't have kicked you. He broke her equipment and monitors when she left the house. I will be fine.
That looks exactly like my monitor when I got VR. You know that?
I insulted you. I shouldn't have kicked you. He broke her equipment.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. What was I playing? What was that game where you have to fucking cut people up and shoot them and stuff in 3D? That's what it looked like, just like that.
And monitors when she left the house. I will be fine without you. You're nothing without me. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to break your neck. What Alex thinks is a good defense is baffling.
Is he even tall? Could he break her neck? I mean, I saw him. He's barely over 5 feet. I don't think he'd break anybody's neck. I think he's too light to break his...
the test, me versus him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never done any celebrity boxing before. You want to try it?
Yeah, I'd suffocate him.
Yeah.
Getting to the rescue.
Yeah, man, left Teddy.
This might go down.
Didn't we read about an English girl that almost suffocated her boyfriend with her breasts? Didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. We did, yeah. Good for her.
Is the worst redemption.
That's funny too. That's
I'll start
funny.
training for it, like
Yeah,
versus
start training
training
for it.
for beating. Yeah, like versus training against little Tommy.
Here's what we'll do. We'll get me, you, and your boyfriend, and then when he taps my shoulder, I'll say, "Get up!" You know.
Oh, no!
I'll say, "Get up! Get him! You're killing him!" You know. See how long he goes. All right. I'm gonna check the watch. 8 seconds. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's even get it down to 7.
Video on YouTube. Again, it took him a year to put this out. And the best part is, Alice made a second document that's 749 pages. My God, that proves Alex is lying throughout this entire video.
Even though
I don't care. I think it's great that he's lying. It's funny to me.
Now, when it's too late, you admit that you did everything wrong.
Yeah.
But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good dog,
like a good dog,
you fight.
Fucking leave me alone!
There's this thing called Clare's Law in the UK, where if you could prove that you're dating somebody, you could call the police and see if there was any reports of domestic abuse from past partners. Alice claims to have reported Alex.
Alice said that future partners can check Clare's Law, and later claimed she got me put down in the system so that any future partners who know how Clare's Law works can use this information to stay safe from me. The information that is accessible through Clare's Law would be a criminal record, also known as a criminal history. All of this information is available on the Clare's Law website, which I will link in the description. Alice has said that Clare's Law can be used and that I am in the system, alleging that I am a convicted criminal or that I have a criminal record.
Alex is either stupid or purposefully misleading viewers.
Yeah, but I also thought that she was sort of misleading people too. Now he is misleading as well, but I mean, she did kind of say like he's in the books.
There was
You know, I mean, like I get where Willy's coming from, but there's kind of a deception on both sides here. She was trying to he's in the system, and you can't really look him up. Yeah, I think both people are trying to do the same thing, and he's saying that never happened because. Like I'm not eligible, but then again, none of this stuff is really public, right? I don't get how it works. I probably have to talk to Willy more about it.
Because your partner doesn't need to have a criminal record, but if they do have one, the police will let you know. That's all that's saying. If you're dating,
to be fair, she not understood it, but also could be purposely misunderstanding. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She made it seem like he was like. I mean, let's kind of be. I mean. I feel like, and I could be wrong, Willy's splitting hairs here. I think she's trying to pass this off as like Megan's Law in the States or a sex offenders list, and that he is in it. And when she says that, you know, I like that's where I would go first. So I think what Willy's doing is like, yeah, he's not in it the way he says he's not in it, but it's just a thing you reply. I don't know. I don't know.
Dating someone, Clare's Law will allow you to see any reported history of violence or abuse. When Alex uses the phrase on Clare's Law, that doesn't really make sense because Clare's Law isn't a database. I had email exchanges as well as phone calls with the woman's hotline and was provided information by the Kent police in the UK. You don't have to be criminally convicted. It's simply a law that allows you as someone who may be dating Alex to see police reports made against him.
Yeah, but she didn't make that abundantly clear. That's my point. Okay, so it's not a database, and you're allowed to make reports. But she did. I'm sorry. She made it seem like it was sort of like a list, like a database. So Alex is on the Mount Rushmore in domestic abuse.
Or criminal convictions. It's both. The Kent police sent me some material, but most of this is on Clare Law's website. The exact thing Alex links in his video. It can include emotional abuse, financial abuse, online or digital abuse, threats of being degrading. They will update you on any report of threatening behavior, economic abuse, being controlling.
When you should lay down.
What's economic abuse? She asks you for money and you say no?
Like a good fucking dog.
At one point, Alice starts talking about starting a YouTube channel. It's a dream of mine, a fun hobby I wanted to build. And Alex responds, shut the fuck up. You know what I meant, so kill yourself. You're
If any woman goes out with him, I'm going to have as much empathy as I had for Pixie.
Shit girlfriend.
That's why I had none for Pixie. None. I knew who got jerk off was. And unless women have no agency and they can't fucking... And at the same time, she's fucking screaming about abusive guys and feminism. Jesus Christ. Anybody goes out with Alex after this, good. Get some.
Genuinely bad at it, you dumb whore. He's calling her the N-word? That's the truth. He breaks her stuff after he hit her. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to break your neck. He routinely spurred out like this, and then he cried when she...
I will say this. He's definitely clearly eligible for Clare's Law. I mean, he's clearly eligible.
Finally left. The guy was nuts.
I realize now that I was putting so much focus on, making you start a YouTube channel so that, like...
And Ben Mass, that's half my problem with this. He's cooked and been cooked. And he was cooked before this, too.
You'd have money and I would get angry at you and I would...
And that's why I can't take it seriously. That's why I'm barely watching the video. It's all fucking good laugh to me.
Like, oh, you aren't trying to improve your life. And I was projecting my own insecurities onto you when all you wanted to do...
He cries about as well as that guy does in our... I mean, I can't even... Yeah, he's... No, men don't cry like that.
The Jim Can't Swim video.
Yeah, the Jim Can't Swim, it's that kind of crying. Men don't cry like this. They don't. Tell me if I'm wrong here, guys. Here's how men normally cry, all right? I'm going to talk about my dead mother, all right? Okay. So I remember when she used to pick us up at the Latchkey program, and used to take us out for ice cream, like every Saturday. Give me a minute. Guys don't cry like that. They cry like I just did. So it's just a fucking performative nonsense. And like you don't even need that. That's my problem with this. Like you needed to hear that. You know that.
Will see me change. You didn't care about any of that. You just wanted me to be a better boyfriend.
And digital abuse is abuse.
And she's telling her what do you want to think. I just want you to be a better boyfriend. You just wanted me to be a better boyfriend. He's a really class A manipulator.
We're all vulnerable to it.
Men do cry. I cry. I'm not afraid to admit it. I've done it before. I've done it on here when some things really upsetting and tragic, for sure. But they don't usually cry like that. That's performative. That's trying to get your way crying.
Online. That's why
cry like a woman.
Video is sponsored by Aura. In a time where people's personal information is being maliciously shared and posted online, it's an important reminder that people like you and me are just as vulnerable. Data brokers have websites where anyone could buy anyone else's personal information for just a few bucks. So it's important that you take the
Yeah, happy stuff makes me tear up. Yeah, when I see something really credible, if any of my kids were to accomplish something like amazing, I'm sure I would tear up, but I would do it in the same way that I did. I'd just, try to control it and then taking the big breaths and all that other stuff. It's really rare. Guys don't cry like that.
Time to protect yourself. I do using Aura. Aura identifies brokers on your behalf and automatically submits opt-out requests that would otherwise be impossible to keep up with.
I want to opt out of all my bills. How about that?
On your own. Seriously, just Google your name. You will see your address, phone numbers, family members popping up on all of these white pages websites.
How much
if you give Aura just a bit of your personal information, after a few weeks, all of that will start to be taken down. You'll get less less spam emails, less spam calls on your phone. It is genuinely life-changing. And Aura will continuously monitor the dark web and alert you if your personal information was exposed. You won't leave the back door to your house open at night, so why?
Yeah, look at these guys.
Why do it online? Plus, they give you up to $5 million of identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. So stop the spam calls and protect yourself online by going to aura.com/WillyMac to start your 14-day free trial. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video. Now, where were we? Clare's Law. A key aspect of Clare's Law is that they don't tell you when you're reported on, otherwise it could put the victim in danger. Alex acts like it's a public record.
Alice claims she had achieved her goal of getting me put on a list accessible via Clare's Law, and that she had saved people because...
Yeah, because here's the thing. She led me on to think it was a public record that could be retrieved. Now, that may not be it, and maybe I feel like she omitted that. Am I off here, Jeannie? Thanks so much, Teddy.
Teddy donated $5.
Break necks.
Men don't cry, we break necks and kick out.
Yeah. Thanks, Teddy. You know what I mean? I feel like that was omitted, you know?
Yeah, I could. I think going back to, I can't remember who said it in the chat. I'm sorry, my brain is fried. Okay. But it could have been. It wasn't like, it might not have been an intentional omission. It could have just been.
It could have been. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I don't know. I like if I was innocent in Alex's situation, I might look. I'm not on any list. Just make it clear, I'm not on a list. I mean, let's pretend he didn't do all this stuff, and he did, right? I would want to make it abundantly clear that I'm not on any kind of Megan's Law, any kind of sex offender-esque list. You know, you see what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Because of this. None of the statements made about the police investigation make any sense, as Alice claims she had put me on a list that would require me having a criminal record and a caution from the police.
Let's see. He's been put down in the system so anyone who knows about Clare's Law work, he used the information to stay safe. She didn't say it was a list, so he's using the word list, but he also knows damn well that people think it's a list because they don't know how it works. But she does write, if anybody knows how it works, they can use the information. Yeah, I'm starting to go. I'm starting to think accidental omission. But if I was on him, I was like, look, I'm not on a list.
But also says the police didn't do anything at all. This is because Alice is and always was lying. I would like to...
Oh yeah, he's really being deceptive there. Just because you're on Clare's list doesn't mean the cops would do anything.
To make it incredibly clear, I have never been contacted, approached, or interviewed by police.
The concept of Clare's Law isn't clear here in the UK either. Most people I know never heard of it. Okay. It's probably let me guess, it's probably really terribly put together law, if I had to guess.
At any point in my life, and I do not have a record or any cautions.
Everything he said is wrong or irrelevant. There is no investigation because it probably can't lead to a criminal conviction. Alex wouldn't be cautioned from the police because it's a disclosure only available to future partners upon request. Alice shows that she was in
How do you prove you're a future partner?
Contact with Kent police. She shows her victim care card, quoting Alex threatening to break her neck. Now, I tried to apply as Alex's gay lover to see if the police would disclose any information. Her neck. Now, I tried to apply as Alex's gay lover to see if...
Is that I don't know, it's an official document. You breaking the law, Willie? Jesus, that's really funny. That's great.
The police would disclose any information to me, but the police will only do it if you have a face-to-face meeting where you bring proof of your identity. So I
should have brought that big heart in there at the Kent police station. That would have been great. It's proof, yeah.
Outside of the evidence that Alice has already posted herself,
So you can't look at this unless you go in there and say, look, I'm dating this guy or this girl, that they have a background. Yeah. And they can say either yes or no. And they can show you what's been there in the past.
Can't confirm anything farther without actually dating Alex, and I'm just not willing to go that far for this.
And they'll probably just, if it's not a database, then they'll show you a report. These are the reports we got in the past. They don't say that they're true or not true. I guess that's how it works. I'm assuming here.
Video, but everything he's saying to discredit her claims is objectively untrue.
This is a lie, as Alice had already posted months before she had released the document that I was on Clare's Law and a comment on TikTok in April 2024. This would mean the police...
Here's what I state in the situation. I'm scared to speak out. It's been best made public on how horrible a person with this platform. I hate to see another woman go through this. Please read the statement before continuing. My experience is they never want to get saved. They have to go find on their own. Hopefully they know how to check Clare's Law. So I'm kind of moving away from my opinion that she was being deceptive, because here she's saying how to check. This is the second time. Thank you, Teddy. Willie just starts dating Alex in this video. Yeah. Hopefully they know how to do it. So that implies that it's not a list and she knows it, right?
That's what I'm seeing it as.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna have to roll that back a little bit then. All right, yeah, because I thought she was being a little deceptive too. No, if you know what you're doing, then you can look it up, because I put my stuff in there. Because
exactly, Emery.
And maybe everybody thinks Claire's Law is like Megan's Law, like the sex offender list, and it's not. It's very, very different, right? And that's why she's saying hopefully they know how to do it. It's not a defender's registry. It's a complaint department.
Investigation had already finished, and that I would have a criminal record 3 months after we.
In her defense, her grammar is terrible on a good day. Yeah, fair enough. I've seen
broken up.
Mine's not much better.
Be impossible.
I like how Alice wrote, but he's been put down in the system.
If anything, he's making it seem like it's a database, not her, from what I see here. Anyone's put down in the system, so anyone knows how to. She says it again here.
For anyone who knows how Claire's Law works. Cut to Alex, who doesn't know how Claire's Law works. In this video, Alex is trying to prove
nobody
that he
in
was
the UK knows how it works.
Partner, so he discloses that he has borderline personality disorder.
Alice also posted a series of tweets in an argument on Twitter, stating that I do not have BPD, also known as borderline personality disorder. I was diagnosed by my psychiatrist with what they.
That's not good. It's not good. So you're telling everybody you're fucking crazy. So it's completely believable that you're as abusive as they say you are. I probably didn't figure that out. He's like, oh, here's my victim card.
They believe to be emotionally unstable personality disorder, also known as borderline personality disorder.
I could have told you that. I could have told you that in 2017.
A local community mental health team after the diagnosis from my psychiatrist. To claim that I haven't been diagnosed with BPD is untrue.
Alex's diagnosis took place months after they had broken up. How would she have known this? Also, what does this prove? How does this help you? We know Alex binge drinks and abuses cannabis now. Wow, you sure showed her. How am I supposed to react to this?
You always did.
Am I supposed to be angry? How dare she not think you have BPD in this Twitter thread? Alex tries to make it
because he seems as a victim.
Seem like Alice was planning his downfall from the jump.
At this time, Alice reached out to my ex-girlfriends privately and asked my ex-girlfriend Jess to plan a statement to back up hers, lying about the involvement of the police to convince people that her story was the truth.
Are you gonna tell us what Jess's statement was? No? Fine, I'll do it. It's him writing the same type of threatening messages to her. Where's Jess? I'm very angry. I'm going to kick her head in. Now I'm locked out. Might kill her. Might actually kill her.
That's
this is Alex's video. He ignores the context and receipts that Alice brings to the table and crafts a story with the fewest DMs possible.
Alice claimed that I threatened her not to come forward with her story and repeats this when talking with YouTube commentary channels. Alice shows no proof of this.
Yes, she actually does. When they initially broke up, he tried to win her back by doing everyday things. Go on, let me cook. The house is clean. I just put out the bins. Hot sweaty emoji. She responded, this isn't hot. It's basic living. When Alex picked up that she might go public, he threatened her to stay quiet with mutually assured destruction. If you keep posting stuff, it'll end up being a huge problem. She says for you, and he replies for us. He continues, I don't want to talk about you hitting me. I found the text about the cat. And she says, because I didn't, you'd be lying. And Alex insists, when you said you punched me. And then she replies, LOL, is that you saying you're going to use that? Because
is he so stupid to think that, I mean, doesn't he realize he had, I mean, maybe he doesn't, has a dick between his legs? That nobody cares. Nobody cares when guys get the shit kicked out of them. Nobody. You could live in this fucking world about, oh yeah, spousal abuse on men. But at the end of the day, nobody gives a flying fuck, especially a little shit like you with your fucking history.
Do it. He begs her one more time to stay silent. I have stayed dead silent, and it is.
When people think of like spousal abuse with women on men, they think of an old guy that is in his 80s and his wife's like maybe 71 or 2, and she can still kind of move and just slap at him while he's in his chair and he can't defend himself. Not you, Alex.
Enough. Alex is doing exactly what he threatened in these text messages. He's bringing up things that he never complained about and ignores all the threats he made towards her so he could come off as the beaten and battered one.
I had told my friends that Alice had been hitting me.
Good.
Alice denied this on text.
Not hard enough.
Found out and threatened to sue me if I continued to tell people she had been hitting me throughout our relationship. Me and my friends had a call where I answered questions about my relationship and I told my side of the story where I explained.
And they probably laughed at you.
That Alice had been physically abusing me throughout our relationship. I made it clear that I did not believe that this was an excuse for my behavior, and that our relationship was toxic and it was not good for either of us, and that I was ashamed of how I had behaved. A friend of mine at the time...
I thought it was great the way you behaved. I love the brick thing coming out of your mouth because you were totally not a tough guy.
A YouTuber who goes by the name of IMALLEXX had messaged me in our group chat encouraging me to share more stories and all the evidence I had of Alice's abuse. He told me I could trust him and that because we were friends that they weren't going to share any of it.
Why could he trust you? Fucked him over on the fucking Deep Voice. You completely fucked him over. Why did you think you could trust him? You guys are only ever using yourselves for money. Using each other for money. Why would you think that? You're a snake. Everybody around you is a snake. Your whole crew's snake. Your whole crew's snake. Tombstone Teeth's a snake. You're a snake. I never a snake. The guy that wrote probably the worst song. What's his name? Who's the fat guy that has all those terrible songs? What's his name? Willany. That's Tombstone. That's Tombstone Teeth.
No. But it was still a W. I still remember there being a W in the name.
Not Bionic Pig.
Yeah.
Not Wilbur. Fucking the guy. He kind of became like a mini pop star in England.
You wouldn't read him. I know
anything
you did.
Reviews. I don't know. He's a big fat guy. Well, he's not fat, but he's big. He's English, you fucking Medine. Take a cyanide pill. Calm down. I can't remember his goddamn interview. Whatever. Marriott. Yeah, Marriott. By the way, go listen to Marriott's hymn and tell me it's not the worst song you've ever heard in your life. I mean, it is. It's chalkboard level, man.
Anywhere, and that it would remain private after I made it clear that I was worried.
And they're all snakes. Why did I bring up it? Because they're all snakes. Willany's a snake. Willany is the only one who's survived. I saw him in the KSI soccer match.
Would be leaked. Alice messaged me with direct screenshots from the private conversation that I had with IMALLEXX and my friends. Alice had been sent screenshots from our private conversation, and it was clear that if I talked to anyone, she would know as she was following as many of my friends as possible.
The messages are his friends asking for evidence and him not providing it.
Fraser posted on his Instagram story that I refused to share the private messages I had with Alice with him. But the reason that I didn't share them is because I was worried that they would be leaked.
And if his evidence is what he's showing right
I thought you trusted him.
now, it just isn't that good. Hers is more compelling. I don't want to focus on fights because those are more he said, she said, but even the circumstantial evidence surrounding those favors her. Like, she claims he pulled her on the floor, put her in a headlock, and covered her mouth as she's screaming for him to get off of her. Now, it's hard for me to tell if Alex is arguing that this fight never happened or if he's just arguing over the date.
Alice knew she would be using them in her document and that she had been planning this full story about me. Alice has used these texts to make it seem like I had physically assaulted her when this never happened. This isn't the only time Alice has used similar proof to claim something had happened which had never taken place at all, and she does this many times in her document. At no point has this story ever been consistent, as Alice said that this happened on the 4th day that we moved in with each other in her document and in her note.
I don't know that it needs to be consistent. Like what she has that's established. Like you hitting her in the head with a brick is kind of like game, set, match. You know?
But then it texted me that it happened on the 2nd. And to be clear, the text messages from the 17th of October also show that this was not the case.
But in Alice's new 749-page document debunking his claims, he seemingly justifies covering her mouth. She says, "I was still gonna leave. I told you to never do something like that again since you dragged me." And Alex replies, "You can't go around a rented house screaming. I had to stop you somehow." She continues, "You put hands on me because I was screaming. Maybe stop what you were doing." And Alex replies, "So I just said don't do it." I wanted to make fun of the document because it's twice the size of a Harry Potter book, but it's damning. It was already obvious that Alex cherry...
Really? Because that's what I heard. When you told me that it was so many pages, I'm like, that's usually a sign. It's like, you're getting 14 pages, guy. You know what I mean? And I talked to Willy, and Willy told me it was compelling. Like, she's got him dead to rights. He did it. You know, that's it. Game, set, match.
He picked messages to create a narrative. He reuses the same ones 5 different times. Meanwhile, Alice provides thousands of messages. After reading much of her doc, Alex comes off as...
I mean, even in a toxic relationship, who has thousands of abusive messages? Think about that. Who has that? You have to think even sometimes, like, man, I better not write that down because, you know, it could be used against me in a court with the police. Who's got
the fact that they were only together for like a year?
Yeah, they're online most of the time, fucking screaming at each other. You can't get along online. I mean, Jesus Louises. I mean, people have fights, all right, and they fights online. I'm not saying they don't, but I don't think of all the nasty messages I've written in my private life, besides YouTube related, that doesn't count. But anything in my private life, there are people that are outside YouTube, my YouTube life or whatever. I don't think you could fill 2 Word documents, like pages of your Word documents. And it's dependent on how you crop them. And that's, let's see, I've had a smartphone since 2000. I got one late too, because I didn't get a cell phone until like 2005, because I hated them for a long time. But I didn't get Facebook till like 2010, and I didn't get a smartphone until 2014. So 2014 now, I don't even have enough.
Desperate, he blames Alice for his skin condition.
Yeah, I'm sure like the boomer thing is illegitimate because I don't have a long record of dating online. I didn't date online ever. Even when I could have, I didn't. I went down the street and met people and talked to their face. Crazy. I know, right? I've dated online, but the old-fashioned way to do it, like you hit a light on. It wasn't Plenty of Fish. It was the one that Microsoft had, and then they gave you the number, and then you talked on the phone, then you arranged a date. I have done that, but I haven't done like the modern way. No, never.
Started dating. It was minimal around the stomach area, but a few months into our relationship,
good. He's ugly on the. I'm glad he's like ugly somewhere.
It spread to my
he's an ugly person.
My body. Throughout my time with Alice, it got worse.
Good. You look like a snake. Now, isn't that funny? He actually looks like a snake now, and he's shedding his snakely skin. Like you're like what does Combo think? You're a snake. And Microsoft had a they did. Back in the days, like I used it right before they joined the army, so it had to have been 2003. 2003. I was like, 26 years old.
Months into our relationship, it spread to my entire body. Throughout my time with Alice, it got worse, and the stress of our relationship and other issues I was having at the time were having a huge effect on me, and Alice was aware of this. Originally, she seemed supportive, but it quickly became something that she would use to hurt me. Alice started by calling me fat and texting in person, and this was because she wanted me to keep my shirt on, because she did not like my illness, and she didn't want to see it or be around it.
The text message.
Yeah, maybe I banged your mom, Medine. Ever think of that?
Messages. I was sad to see you going all the time and asked you to stay. And then he goes, because you called me fat and kicked me in bed. How does this relate to the story he's telling?
She complained that I spent too much time away from her. This angered Alice, and she called me names. I ignored her and turned away.
She called him names? Did she call you a name?
So I could go to sleep. Alice turned around in bed and kicked me in my lower back, and I told her to fuck off, and then she kicked me even harder and then started to donkey kick me in my neck and in the back of my head. Alice had done this so hard that I fell out of the bed while she was still kicking me. I proceeded to get incredibly angry, and I shouted at Alice and I insulted her, and this is
son, calm down.
Something that I deeply regret doing. When I messaged Alice about this on Facebook, she said that she didn't just start kicking me hard.
In the messages, Alice says, I didn't randomly start kicking you for no reason, seemingly implying that she did kick him. Now, Alice denies this in her new doc. She admits to pushing him, but never kicking him. Look, it was a toxic relationship. They were both awful to each other. I get it. But Alex's examples are her calling him fat and retarded. Alice's examples are him admitting
she's right.
admitting to kicking her and then saying, well, it wasn't a karate kick. Him going on 6-minute rants, following around the house as she says nothing because she asked him to wipe
I would give him a $200 night. If he would perform a karate kick, I'd pay for it.
the counter.
You look like a miserable little cunt all the time. But your face is annoying to look at when I come downstairs. Like, I'm actually fed up of looking at you, which is why I sleep downstairs.
You know what's great about this? He's treating her this way to put her in line, right? Because that's how you really hurt a woman. You batter her. That's how you get her under control. You batter her. You start saying, but your face is tough to look at. It really hurts them. And eventually they'll shut the fuck up just so they don't have to hear that from the person they love, right? But this bitch wrote it down. This was like, he really read this girl wrong. Totally wrong.
I don't want to have to go upstairs. Oh, you're taking all the covers. It's like, woman, just like, ask me to buy another one or stop complaining. Like, nothing.
I swear to God, if my daughter brought this back to me, I'd come to your house and beat the shit out of you. And I would have you beg me, and you'd begging me to stop, and you would be promise me you never do it again, and that's it. That's all it would take. I got sick of looking at my face. What about my face? You got a problem with it? I mean, he's 5 foot. I literally can pick him up. He's probably one of the few men on earth that I could easily power bomb. You know?
It annoys me. Nothing needs to be an argument because everything is fixable. Buy a new duvet. I sleep downstairs. But no,
yeah, like somebody, like you mentioned your brother. Like how many brothers would tolerate this? You know what I mean? Like an older brother, even a younger brother would go berserk. Like, you can't talk to my sister that way.
Always got to act like none of this stuff, because you don't actually try and fix any of your problems. Like, it's infuriating at this point. Like earlier, you're miserable about something in the kitchen. All you have to do is say what it is and it's fixed. It's fine. You don't have to, like, you don't clean up after yourself. Neither do you. So, we're even. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't go around complaining about everything that you don't clean up after. Why? You don't even want us to pay for any of it. So, who really cares?
And think about it. He must have done this before, right, Jeannie? If she had the mind withal to record it. Am I wrong? He must have been doing this for a long time, correct?
Oh yeah, yeah, no, that's what I think. Yeah, I mean, we've seen he has a bit of a history with.
He must have. So she must have been like, next time I'm fucking pushing that record button. You know, he thinks he's getting her fucking in line.
You have to say, like, what does it even matter? If you want to clean up, I'll hire one. It's my money.
This goes on for 4 more minutes. She leaves because she doesn't feel safe, and he keeps messaging her about it.
Like, just up and leave, like, for no reason, like, because you refuse to talk to me about, like, just cleaning the kitchen. I have to cancel all my plans. I'm going to spend all day talking to lawyers tomorrow because I haven't been paid for 2 months, and you're on purposely trying to drive me up the wall. Like, I don't want to see you if you're going to try and, like, mentally torture me. I don't understand what's so wrong about that. I know that you do it because I know that, you know, it drives me insane. I know that you are angry at me for something that I...
You know, another thing is, like, I've never mentioned the names, but I know some of his male friends that he, like, verbally abused and threatened. And everything that I'm hearing on here lines up with what they told me.
Because I didn't clean the side of the kitchen. And yeah, okay, I get it. I get that you're upset with me because I didn't clean the side of the kitchen after I used it or whatever. But, oh, come on, man, it's been Christmas and, like, I am busy. Like, of course I forget to clean the side sometimes. And I was going to do it. I hadn't even eaten breakfast yet. Like, the pressure you put on me is insane.
Clean the kitchen.
What makes this absolutely comical is when Alex talks about this particular night, he says that it wasn't about a counter, it was about her hitting him.
I was angry and upset because Alice had hit me and then had began to threaten me. When I got angry and started to lose my temper, Alice recorded me. Alice says that she recorded this because she was scared that I'd hit her again. But this is false, as I hadn't kicked her or hit her. Alice has then begun recording me halfway through an argument that started because she had hit me after we had argued on the sofa as a way to pass off a completely false...
I just want to say, like, he put this... I want to know how this was received. Is this still up, this original video?
I honestly have not looked. But, yeah, it is. 2 weeks ago.
Gaslighting.
Let's see. Oh god, 8K versus 30K. For clarity, I'm not running ads in this video. Oh, you probably should have. It's going to be your last big one for a long time. 400K.
Listen, fuckhead.
Circuitry. Hey, welcome aboard, buddy. We're back, I should say.
70 months.
70 months. Nice. There's literally video evidence of you being abusive. I don't know what kind of drugs you're on. That pretty much sums it up. There's Repsion fucking lecturing him. Repsion was the J-stock of old school YouTube. big knight in shining armor.
Full story.
He's lying. You're telling me he sent her all these voice notes, 30 minutes worth of voice notes, hundreds of text messages.
What do you mean?
That's a good thing that you've brought up because Repsion is one of the ones who from what I remember, is he had an ex was really, really abusive to him.
Oh yeah. He really knew how to pick women. He was awful. He was awful. He was awful picking women. I like Repsion. I don't hate him. I know we didn't end our friendship on good terms, but I don't hate him anymore. I'm over it. And then remember I said his German girlfriend was a cunt, and she sent me like a fucking wrestling promo in German. That was pretty funny.
Just about this particular night, in none of the—
I like Repsion, I really do, and I like he's one of my. He sounds like I had friends growing up. I'm not real close to Repsion by any stretch, but I had friends growing up a lot like him that just could not. They always pick the worst chicks, and that's just him. And maybe that's who he is, man. That's cool.
them claims that she hit him. Bold.
I made a joke about her stealing fucking the tattoo stuff. They had a meltdown. It was so funny.
Face liar.
I'm Alice, and the side has got some crumbs on it. You can get over yourself. There's bigger shit going on in my life.
Oh, who cares?
And you know it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it's infuriating.
You're infuriating.
You leave? Making it seem like something really terrible happened? I tried to get you to turn around because you kept on walking away from me as I was talking to you.
Look at these messages over the kitchen. Your weird fits, you left me no choice. I'm throwing it out. Put it all somewhere for you to collect tomorrow. Referring to her stuff that ended up broken. Bruh, he admits in a voice message that he kicked her.
I am sorry. On the last night that you were here, that I got angry at you and I pushed you and then I kicked you in the behind when you walked away from me. It's not acceptable. I thought at the time that I was being like jokey, but not in like a nice way. It was mean. It was rude. I was doing it to be like, oh, come back, and it's pathetic behaviour and it's not acceptable. But this is false, as I hadn't kicked her or hit her.
He denies smashing her stuff, but as he's putting away her things, he says, you're going to have to put your keyboard back together. Keys came off when I put it in the box. Keys don't just fall out of keyboards. He smashed it. Her monitors were smashed. Yeah. He denies it in the video.
Alice has also gone on to accuse me of smashing up her belongings, which is a lie. At no point had I broken anything of Alice's during our relationship.
Here's Alex. I didn't mean to break your screens. He is constantly lying. He says he broke up with Alice to escape her abuse, but she was blackmailing him to stay with her.
When Alice had left the house, I finally thought I could escape our relationship and that I wouldn't have to see her again. This is when Alice began—
He really did a spectacular job of making himself the fucking abuse victim, didn't he? You almost got to tip your hat.
To start blackmailing me and threatening me because I was asking her to stay away. Alice told me that she was going to come back and that she was only gone for a night. When I told Alice I didn't want her to come back, she accused me of physically abusing her. Alice then threatened to report this lie to the police to stop me from trying to leave our relationship. I knew that now, if I tried to leave, Alice would accuse me of physically abusing her, as she had used this to get me to back down from trying to end our relationship in this conversation.
None of these messages—
She didn't use it, yeah.
These are her trying to stay with him. It's her trying to get him to leave her stuff alone.
Oh, that's
Again,
so
there's
funny.
Hundreds of messages.
He just didn't think anybody would read them, I guess. And I didn't. He's right. Willie will.
Voice notes of him trying to get back together with her, and he just straight up lies to the camera about it.
Alice has written in her document that after our breakup, I begged for her to come back, and I also sent gifts and a letter to convince Alice to get back with me because I wanted her to forgive me. But this is not an accurate version of what had happened, and it is a lot more complicated than Alice has portrayed. She had intentionally lied and left out hundreds of messages and events that do not show the reality of what was actually happening. Alice was continuously blackmailing me and had been abusing me for our entire relationship. Good. I had tried to leave our relationship at many points, and Alice has taken—
But I couldn't be sure the bitch wouldn't snitch on me.
This and wrote in her document that I would threaten to break up with her as a form of manipulation. This is not true, and I have shown that I tried to break up with Alice after she physically assaulted me and blackmailed me, and I stayed because she would threaten me if I tried to leave. At one point, Alice told me that she wanted me to plan something soon, and then she said I should make her dinner. This is completely contradictory to the claims that Alice has made in her document, where she says she had no interest in talking to me, as in reality, she was emotionally manipulating me and blackmailing me while she was writing a document on me at the same time, trying to dismantle my life.
His receipts are 3 messages, with the most significant one saying, make me dinner. Her receipts are Alex ugly crying into the phone.
I've only realized how much I must have hurt you. I acted like when you left, that it was because you didn't care.
You fake.
But now I realize that it was the strongest thing and it was the hardest thing for you to do because it must have been so hard for you.
Alex was so donated $5. I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. Oh hi Inaba, you're tearing me apart, Alice.
Because I know how I feel now, and it can't be half as bad as what you feel. And that you left because you felt like you had no choice, and even then you wanted me to beg you to
I got an illness coming on, baby.
Like an arsehole. I wanted to spend every minute now trying to make it up to you of my life. I wanted
shut up.
to dedicate my life to you, and I had the chance.
Kill yourself.
You were by my side. You were laid in my bed, and I didn't because I was too busy being like, oh, you would kiss me because I pissed her off, and I pushed you.
You know, it kind of makes me sick. I want to know how terrible he is in bed. Isn't that awful? You think does it make me a bad person?
No.
I just want to know.
I'm curious too.
Yeah, he wants to see how bad he is in bed. Oh, LA Galaxy got eliminated last night. What the fuck? So did Club America. Oh boy. Yeah, I just want to know how awful he is in bed with his little tiny fucking 5-foot Peter. What kind of Peter can a fucking 5-foot man have anyway, right? Jesus.
Good question, yeah.
100% he's awful, yeah. He rolls over and goes to sleep and says he's sick and he can't cuddle with you. That type of move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'd cuddle with you if I could. But now that I'm satisfied now, I need to, don't put your hands on me. Because, think about it. He's selfish as fuck. He's got to be selfish in that department, too.
So far away. I have so much to apologize for. I tried to make you call me all those times because I knew it was going to go on for a long time. And I wasn't lying when I said that my plan was to just...
Who cries like this, too? Like, who cries like... kind of looks like this, He sounds like he's imitating somebody crying.
Do all of this right now. I think that's the worst part. Is that even when I was
imagining a teeth anywhere near a vagina's nightmare fuel.
Insulting you on these conversations.
What do you think? You think he'd go down on the chick? I don't think that's his.
Breathe.
No, it's not even that. It was like
well, he's got.
He's not the type. He's not the type. That's because that means you have to enjoy giving your partner pleasure while you're not receiving any. There's no way.
It's even up until 4 days ago. I wanted to make you call me because I wanted to go, hey, by the way, everything that I've said is completely wrong. Actually, I really f***ed you over and I really f***ed up and I didn't do it. And because you wouldn't call me, I was like, oh, well, if she doesn't want to call me, she doesn't deserve it. And I'm just...
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Stupid. I convinced myself you didn't deserve a proper apology. Goodbye, Alice. I did love you more than anything. God, it hurts. Because I can't love you anymore. You're not mine to love.
I did not want to be blackmailed again into staying in our relationship.
Meanwhile, 2 days later, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you. Jamie, can you play the clip showing Alex is lying?
First, I was crazy with heartbreak. I won't deny
heartbreak.
I was messaging you over and over and over again because I was so terrified.
I can hear The Cure in my head for some reason. You know what I mean?
What?
Can you hear The Cure or the Smiths or something? Every time he talks, that's all I hear.
That I couldn't fix this. And in that process, I pushed you further and further away because I wasn't trying to fix it. I just wanted you to give me the chance. That's insane. I've constantly put everything on you, made it your problem that you have to fix, like you have to fix me.
You think black people...
What a fucking liar, dude. Middle liar, dude.
Alex's second grand defense is that this was a setup from the beginning. This was all a scheme to make him look like an abuser from day one. He repeatedly shows text messages from her.
She's good. She gotcha.
Saying, lucky I don't expose that. And let me update my story real quick as proof. That's apparently all we need to know to prove this conspiracy.
Alice had told me that
You think he's at home and he's like, well, it was worth a shot.
He'd recorded me during my manic episodes, and when I'd reacted to the constant threats and physical attacks in our relationship. Alice would threaten to post these videos when I tried to leave and when we argued. I felt that I had no choice but to stay when Alice threatened me.
They come from September 20.
Is that the Smiths?
2023, right before they moved in together. She says they had a call where she expressed that she was scared to move in with him because he was always insulting her. He texts, "Leave me alone." They insult each other, and then we see that the context she provided is true. Alex says, "You start going on about how you're scared to move in. Just die in a hole, you sad little cunt." She's like, "Who does this? Just reassure me that things will be okay." And he starts mocking her. "Ooh, my feelings. Ah, yay, you." He can't even type because he's so angry. Hate, squall, She's like, "I just spoke my feelings and I'm scared. I don't want to be 30 being called a bitch by you." And he replies, "I don't want to be 24 with some girlfriend who's just bringing my whole life down." They implode on each other until she says, "Lucky I don't expose that shit." So far, this has nothing to do with what Alex said.
Alice had told me that she had recorded me during my manic episodes.
This is one of the, like, usually women's scoring goes too far. And it goes like well beyond. It goes like well beyond, or like, all right, you won, lady. This chick, completely justified.
When I'd reacted to the constant threats and physical attacks in our relationship. Alice would threaten to post these videos when I tried to leave and when we argued.
Where's the threat over a manic video? I didn't see it. He's like, "Alice really should have been nice to me when I was manic. You wouldn't be diagnosed for another year. You didn't even know you could be manic." Let's just be clear on what Alex is trying to do here. He's trying to
He put up his psychiatric thing.
discredit the video where he follows her around the house for 6 minutes straight ranting at her while she says nothing as a manic episode. This is peak manipulation. Alex claims he was beaten up all the time over the cat.
I'd reached the point where I was afraid to interact with our cat or Alice out of fear of being assaulted, as it had been going on for months at this point.
But when Alice confronts them from telling their friends, "She hit me all the time over a..."
You see, a bunny assaulted me. You know that? A cat. See that?
Oh no. Oh, oof.
I was like,
what did you do?
I was rubbing her head, right? I was rubbing her head, and I think she honestly was playing because she didn't hiss or anything, right? She didn't hiss, so I was rubbing her head like that, kind of like the dog, and she did this kind of weird move where she flipped on her belly, grabbed that part of the back of my arm, almost like a UFC fighter, caught it, and then hugged the upper part like this. And then just bit down as hard as she could. Ooh. Yeah, it was like a move. I was kind of like, so she's like, her head, she's kind of loafing. Yeah. And I'm like, and then she did this like flip. You know, it was like some kung fu shit. Pretty good.
Cat. These messages come from after they.
Yeah, she did the leg kick, but she used her arms to hug and then come down so she could get it. You know,
Alex denied it. "No, I never said that. You hit me."
You know,
he once over the cat. Alex claims it was
Bunny
a punch.
versus Alex
calls me delusional.
Probably Bunny.
And says I'm on Delulu Island for thinking that Alice had physically assaulted me for joking about the cat, but has written in her own document that she did push me, and that it was because of me making these jokes about the cat. Alice texted me saying she hadn't hit me, and this was after I'd accused her of punching me in our bedroom in person, and then I had walked away.
But in these exact text messages that Alex is sharing, Alice proves that Alex never accused her of punching him at the time. It was always about a push. Alex turned it into a punch after they had broken up when talking to his friends.
"I was playing with the cat and you punched me in the face."
The closest message I could find siding with Alex over this punch is him saying, "You don't hit me." She says, "I didn't hit you." And he replies, "You tried." So, did she miss? Are you counting that still? Only the cat knows the full story. The abuse that Alex is describing, I just don't believe it. He's clearly exaggerating his story to try and get his career back. Yeah. It's not a coincidence he started posting normal videos afterwards. But before we get to that, I want to point out some moments where Alex says something, but the text he puts on screen says the exact opposite.
We had many conversations about getting back together, and when I realized I was being emotionally manipulated and blackmailed by Alice, I tried to break it off on multiple occasions.
This is her saying, "I left you. We aren't together." In this one, she says, "Go away," after Alex threatens that he's getting angry. Here's Alex begging her to call him, and she won't. Does any of this look like Alice trying to get back with him? He says Alice would...
That's so funny that he had the balls to do that. You know what I mean? It's just hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second.
Well, the thing is, he flashes these fucking screenshots
on
screen for like a millisecond.
I always wondered if other people did that. Like when I see the flash, it's like, yeah, what's the odds? Somebody would check. You know, Uh-oh. 100,000. And then, actually, this latest thing only cost him 200K or 20K. I figured that's because these were all the active users. That's too funny. That's too funny.
Blackmail and threaten him if he didn't do exactly what she asked for, but he doesn't show any of those messages. Instead, he shows her asking him to leave a voice note.
I was desperate for any form of solution, as it is clear from the voice notes and videos that Alice has shared that the constant emotional manipulation was having a severe effect on me, and I was saying whatever I thought I had to at the time to end the constant arguing, fighting, and blackmail. Alice would string me along intentionally whilst blackmailing me and threatening me if I didn't do exactly as she had asked. She would then tell me to send voice notes apologizing, as she would refuse to call me on the phone after making accusations about me cheating on her or being physically abusive.
Bro, show those DMs. These mean nothing. None of these are about cheating. I don't think he knows what the word blackmail means.
Yeah. Then asked Alice if she wanted to talk on call instead, as I struggle with communicating over text, and I thought that would make it easier. Alice then tells me that she is going to scream at me.
But if you pause and read the text, it says I'm not gonna scream. Even on the one singular argument that I thought Alex would be objectively right on, it turns out he's a moron. He says he's uncomfortable with Alice liking tweets from other guys saying they will treat her right.
Alice accused me of threatening to break up with her for liking followers' tweets, but has left out the singular tweet that she had liked and that we had had an entire text conversation about, as it would show that Alice was lying. When she was asked if these tweets were to do with cheating on Twitter, Alice said no and denied this. This once again is a lie. The entire
Hold on a second. Wait,
Alice said no.
Willie was involved with this. He was following girls. Let's see. He was following girls he was in relationships with previously. I do note this in the statement. Sorry, it's messy. Not to be rude, but you didn't answer my question. In your doc, it says he called you names because you were replying to followers, and then you found out he was following exes. Was that the context of the argument about cheating? No, no one cheated.
Denied this. This once again is a lie. The entire conversation Alice references here is about cheating, and this is why she doesn't include or show the tweet and the hundreds of text messages that prove that she is lying once again, as she gaslit me and insulted me for hours and is now trying to make people believe an entirely different story. After our first date, Alice liked a tweet from a follower that said they could treat her better.
I would have a problem if my girl started doing that. Most guys would, but then he reveals that she's an OnlyFans model.
This is untrue. Alice had told me that she wanted to quit her job as an OnlyFans model. It was her idea and not mine.
Bro, of course she liked it. It's her business model. You're the one who chose to date someone who does OnlyFans.
Bingo. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, she's got to like all those fucking tweets. Guys are paying good money to look at her pussy.
Plus, these text messages of her wanting to quit happened a month after she liked the tweet. Moron.
Show yourself.
I cannot express how much Alex brought this upon himself. He tries to dodge all accountability, even though there's videos, audio recordings catching him in his lies.
Anna has also used this as an opportunity to blame me for a situation we were involved in with another YouTuber called Slazzo. The messages between us at the time show that Anna wrote the statement on Slazzo with his ex-girlfriend Che, and that I ignored this message at the time that she had sent it to me. I was aware of the situation, but I had no involvement in writing anything, and Anna had even messaged me acknowledging that I didn't want to be involved, which is why I had not replied to her messages where she had tried to involve me.
I believe at one point Alex didn't want to get involved. He has a message showing as much, but it doesn't deny the fact that he eventually did. People who worked on the document say so.
Rumors, I don't know if maybe you can clarify this or not. I've heard rumors that Alex wrote portions or drafts of her statement for her, like in a similar way that like
I ended up finding out that multiple people wrote their own versions of a statement and then like parts were picked up.
That's Blue Stank. He's a friend of mine. We actually had a long conversation like 2 weeks ago. You know.
I was. This is us.
Yeah, we kind of have. We don't have a friendship acquaintanceship online. We get together every so often and have a bullshit. He's not a bad guy. We were talking. It's funny. We were talking like because I hated him and that whole crew back in 2017, 18. But now everybody's like, because they were all kids, 19, 20, 21. Now they're like 25, 26, 27. And they're like adults now, and they're easy to talk to, and we can kind of laugh at each other for all that stuff, I
think it was Alex's story, but it was like she had come to them with Hyoj, and they were like, help us write this because we're stupid, we don't know how to word it properly. In other words, saying, how do we actually manipulate this in the best way possible to fuck this guy up?
You go to Alex, is probably a perfect guy.
That's how I originally saw it when they were talking like that.
There are messages from the Discord of Alex barking orders on when the draft needs to release. This guy sucks. He helps write false essay allegations, lies about it.
So I didn't even know that. So he tried to distance himself from the Slazo stuff that he already apologized for 6 years ago? Are you fucking kidding me? That's funny. And he said he had nothing to do with it, that she dragged him into it. And by the way, she said the same thing. he dragged us into it. She's a pig too. What's that girl's name? King Annie? King of the cunts. Oh, both of them. Both of those guys are equally as guilty. And King Annie never even apologized for it. She still had, like, at the time she jumped on the Alex hate bandwagon, was it last June or over the summer? Whenever this stuff broke, she was fucking virtue signaling on what a bad boyfriend he was. Remember that? King Annie is king of the cunts.
Abuses his girlfriend, lies about it, and then he cries when she doesn't take his sexual assault story seriously enough after they had already broken up.
I believe Alice has created this false version of events due to a conversation that we had after we had broken up, as Alice has started to use personal stories that I had told her to torment me. I had confided in Alice about being sexually assaulted when we had begun dating, and after our breakup, Alice had blackmailed.
I have the ticket to make fun of him for this, don't I? I can make fun of his sexual assault, right? Because I guess my sexual assault, I guess I'm game for that, right? Right, Jeannie?
I'm not commenting on it. You
Yeah,
do.
I don't know. Who wants me to make fun of Alex's sexual assault? Give me one in the chat! No, I won't.
Blackmailed me and was using my reactions to build a document. So she started to follow people that I knew and had personal connections with to try and trigger a reaction from me. Alice followed the person who I had told her had sexually assaulted me.
He's probably lying, so what? That's the best one, Beast Ghost. It's so funny.
In the hopes that I would react. I was incredibly upset that Alice was using something deeply personal that I had told her about in confidence as a way to get to me. Alice messaged me saying that I knew why, and then went on to clarify that she did this because she was upset with me. We continued to talk about it, and this is when Alice told me that I should have fought back.
And here she's admitting to it, asking Alice.
Oh, that's so funny. You should have fought back, you pussy. Can you imagine that? Why would you break up with her right away when she said something that emasculating?
Alex, why didn't you punch him after he raped you? I asked Alice why she did this, and she essentially says that she doesn't believe him. I don't even blame.
So she doesn't believe in sexual assault, so she called him a pussy. That's so funny. I don't believe this makes me like Alex. Alice, that's fucking funny. So why did you do that? Don't you care about a sexual assault? Yes, I do. I just don't believe that asshole. So fuck him. Fuck him right in his ear. It's, and you can't blame her the way she was treated.
A boy who cried
that is based and red pilled, and I don't say that very often, right, Ben?
Situation where his credibility is so low.
That's so funny.
Nobody has reason to trust him. The first time we even hear about this story is in this video. He's using his abuse story to try and discredit the girl he abused. In the same video, he's been caught lying multiple times in already. This guy says 3 times a year he's got to purge his friend group because of SA.
So like it's been this thing now. I was talking to Fraser about it the other day. We were like, this is like a reoccurring theme in our group of friends.
Yeah, and Fraser stayed friends until he absolutely couldn't. Another fucking rat weasel motherfucker.
It's like 2 to 3 times a year.
Yeah.
For the last 3 years. That's mental.
And yeah, that is mental. And Jack jerk off. Why did she did it lake off in your head? Maybe there's just too much sexual assault around this guy. Maybe it's either he's seriously fucked up or it's not true.
Yeah. It should not be like that.
Well, so what are you saying, that
people get accused of being racist or pedophiles or just like being generally just like...
Who are you hanging? Like, if I was one of these podcasters, this is like in 2020. This is almost 5 years ago, right? Why would anybody say, well, who are you hanging out with? That this happens that often.
Like...
Alex is back to uploading normal content. He has the gall to call out other people for lying.
Yeah.
Pot calls the kettle black, the YouTube channel. Alex Elmsley. Can't spell it without the word lie. That's divine intervention right there. That'll be it for today. I'm still working on my Destiny Part 2 video where I interview a lot of people, including him in it. We discuss a lot of allegations. People accusing you of doxing. right? Because you're referring to Kiwi Farms. Ryan did this with Anna. And then J-Stock is doing this. Queeman is sort of doing this where there's DMs about you saying like, hey, I wish this person, has this person been doxxed yet?
Yeah, for Anna, that's bullshit. For Jessica and Queeman, I'd kill him if I could. I'd choke their fucking house and do it. But not for Anna, no.
That was not an effort to dox her is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, what the fuck? Like, why would I even want to do that? Like, what am I, want somebody to kill her or what? Like, that's fucking retarded. I do want somebody to kill Jistical, though, or Lav, or Mr. Girl, or Queeman. Those people can all die.
It's taken so...
I think that's why Destiny's winning. And you know what? That leads in right to our next stuff, because